Hello everybody and welcome back to Crash Landing. So in the last episode we were working on getting some of these things set up in the Applied Energistics or Tech Dome or whatever I'm going to be calling this. And I started setting up a whole bunch of the machinery in here. You can see I've got some pulverizers and cyclic assemblers here. And I've got these cyclic assemblers doing things like this one is taking 4 of these broken tin and making it into the tin gravel ore. And I was thinking about how much room I'm going to need for all these cyclic assemblers, because I think there's like 9 or 10 different things that have to be assembled just to make the gravel ores, and then there's just as many for the sand ores, and then again for the dust ores. And I was trying to figure out where can I put that. I was thinking about digging out another layer underneath here. And then I thought, why am I even using these? Back in the old ship base, we had a factory manager doing that. Why am I not doing that here? So I've got a whole bunch of these cyclic assemblers made up, and I don't think I'm going to be using them now. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to set up a factory manager here that's going to take care of this for me. And that'll open up some more space here for additional pulverizers. We still have room for a couple of layers of deep storage up here. But also I wanted to show you this. So in the I set up Applied Energistics over here to take my cobblestone from my generator. I also decompressed all of the compressed cobblestone that I had from all the time that I've been playing, and we now have 60 million cobblestone. This is absolutely ridiculous, and it's going up at a rate of about 10 to 12 million a day currently. So yeah, we have a lot of cobblestone, and so we need to be processing that. We need a lot of pulverizers and things like that. And yeah, you can see I've been sieving sand, so we've got tons of the crushed ores. We've got tons of the pulverized ores. 11,000 pulverized iron right now, and that does not include the dust. So I've got 1,619 of the dust. So I think I need to pull this bank of cyclic assemblers out and replace that with the inventory manager, and we'll get that set up and show you what else I have in mind for today. So I've got this inventory manager set up here to do the great majority of the stuff that I want to do. So I've got 2 chests here because I couldn't get it all into one with the number of export buses that I could put around a chest. So I ended up with 2 chests, which is fine. So I've got these first 2 columns is from the first chest, and then the second 2 columns is from the second chest. And I do have room for expansion in this second chest. But so what I do is once every second I come into this trigger, split the flow into each of the chests, and then the chests will input the items for that particular column. And then when it's done, it goes back through a flow into a single output, and this output has all of the sands and gravels and dusts whitelisted. Also, I've got cobblestone in here. You can see the cobblestone there. This is being made from, if I can get it to pull up here, from the little stones, because we're getting a lot of that from sieving the dust. But I was waiting to turn this on. I ran it a little bit for the gold and iron, but we've got a whole bunch of copper sitting in this one, a whole bunch of silver sitting in here. So I kind of wanted to give you an idea of how fast this was actually going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up to the output, and now we'll see fairly rapidly. We should see this stuff starting to, well, it's really disappearing here. It looks like it does that one first. All of this is gone. So, it just pulls that stuff out of there incredibly fast. And we can see if we look in here, if we look up our, pulverized ores, we can see these numbers just dropping ridiculously fast as it crafts everything together. So this is going to greatly alleviate everything that I had going on with the crafting, because all that I have to do, the ME system will only activate when it has items in it, and it'll push it into these chests, which that's great. I won't have tons and tons of stuff sitting here in my crafting monitor. And then also over here I put in 4 pulverizers. These guys are set for pulverizing the gravel and sand back into the next step down, I guess. But I need to do a little bit of modification. This one here doesn't have enough stuff on it. And once we get everything caught up there, we shouldn't have any trouble. But if we look at our ores, or maybe we need to look at dust, that might be better. You can see the iron ore dust, we got 6,217. Each one of those, or well, 3 of them will produce a block of iron. So that's 2,000 blocks of iron right there. That's an awful lot of iron. So yeah, our ore things are very well taken care of. This is going to take a little bit more work to kind of make it a little more pretty, but the system is pretty well working. So I think the next thing we want to take a look at, I've been wanting to make these aerial interfaces. That's not how you spell it. The aerial interface from Pneumatic Craft. And this is able to interact with my inventory no matter where I am. The problem is, this requires a wither skeleton skull. And of course, we have no access to the nether. If anyone has been wondering why I haven't done anything with the nether, I haven't actually tried it, but I've read that if you make a nether portal in this map, the nether will just be a void. So, yeah, it's kind of pointless to go there. But, so what I want to do is figure out a way to get some of those wither skeleton skulls. And the easiest way to do it is to make some witch water and place that down underneath a skeleton spawner. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself a bucket of witch water, and we are going to head off to the city where I have my, Enderman spawner, and we are going to see if we can find a skeleton spawner there. Hopefully we don't have to go to a different city, but I'm going to get this stuff together, and I'll see you back in just a bit. So I've got myself a skeleton spawner here. So I think what I want to do is just clear pretty much everything out from around here. Now obviously there's some zombie pigs down below, so I'm going to have to deal with that. So I'm going to clear everything out around here, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I've got in mind for being able to get these wither skeletons. So I have most of this area cleared out now, and I did happen to find a second skeleton spawner. This is kind of an odd configuration for the buildings here. There was one of these presidential palaces put here, or residence, or whatever, and then another one was placed right over the top of it. So it kind of makes, you know, a weird way of this being set up. But I am going to have to work all of these buildings out, and I also think I might want to bring back some, a magnum torch to place over here. Even though I've got one over there, this is outside of the range of that torch. So I might want to get another one of those. So I have here the factory blocks and the fantasy blocks that I've been collecting from all the buildings I've been tearing down here, and then just a whole bunch of dust from what I dug out here. So I'm going to use these to build the area around this thing. And I think all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5 blocks away from the spawner and just build a room. And then I think in my tools bag, nope, they must be over in my ME system. I need to get some of the MFR conveyor belts to move these skeletons into the middle, and then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them fall through a layer of this witch water. So I'm going to start getting that set up, and I'm going to come back when I've got that built, and then we can start killing some wither skeletons. So I've got the room built around the spawner here. I've got my conveyor belts in there to push all of the skeletons into the center. Now the next thing I'm going to do is make sure that nothing can spawn on top of this thing. So you see I've got the F7 mode pulled up here, which puts a yellow X anywhere that a mob can spawn at night, and a red X anywhere that a mob can spawn at any given time. So I'm going to go ahead and put those there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, and I have in my inventory some signs, and then the witch water. So I'm going to grab those two. And I think what we're going to do is just right here, we're going to go ahead and put a sign. And then we're going to fly back up and drop the witch water right above that. And unfortunately, I think we're going to have to break one of these conveyor belts to get out of here. Did I not pick that up? I don't think I did. Well, anyway, I'll just put another one down here. Now I will just go ahead and close this all up, thanks to the handy-dandy builder's wand here. And it looks like I'm going to have a few more spots here that are going to be spawnable on top, even though I have the other underneath. So now I'm just going to drop one more of these nooks right here in the center. Now let's go ahead and head down to our killing chamber and just take a look here. What do we got? It looks like the mobs are not falling through. That is a little bit of a problem. So let's take a look here. What do we have? Okay, well, we do have some wither skeletons here. So they're just having trouble falling through the water. So that's a bit of a problem. Well, I saw a red heart there. And that ended up being a regular skeleton. So we may have to rethink this just a little bit. But so we do have our wither skeletons, and let's just see, what have we gotten so far? So we already have gotten a wither skull, a miniature red heart, some coal. I think I already had those regular skeleton skulls. So this is kind of now just a waiting game. I'd kind of like to get enough to summon a wither boss as well. So I'm just going to sit here and fight a few of these guys for a little while. See if I can get a few more skulls, and I'll meet you back at the base. Well, I'm back at the base, and I'm pretty pleased with what I ended up getting from that skeleton spawner just in a short period of time. So I got a whole bunch of bows. I'm not sure why I'm keeping those, but went ahead and combined a bunch of those together. Got a bunch of undamaged bows. Got a few arrows, a bunch of coal, tons of bones. I was picking up some feathers and gold nuggets from time to time, which seems a little odd from wither skeletons, but yeah, I got some of those. Got 16 of my wither skeleton skulls, so that's good. That'll allow us, after we build this aerial interface, to still summon 5 wither bosses. Got 51 necrotic bones and 1 miniature red heart. So I'm going to need a bunch of these miniature red hearts so that I can get some red heart canisters together. And I'm still trying to figure out, my red heart canister is gone, and I don't know why it is. But, yeah, I just noticed that. I was thinking about red heart canisters, and I don't know, I'm missing my red heart canister. I suppose I could check and see here. Well, I've got 5 red hearts, but, yeah, it's not in here. Let me try heart canister. No. I don't know. But so I'm going to go ahead and put all of this into my ME system here. And then we're going to make up this aerial interface and do a little experimenting with that. So the first thing we need to do, we need to make some pressure chamber walls. We need 4 of these, so we'll just go ahead and drop those in there. And I've got everything else in the system. No, I don't actually. Oh, I know what the problem is. Okay, so the hoppers are in my bag here. So I'll just grab one of those real quick. And the recipe was asking for all of the oddball things. Oh, well, I had a whole bunch of pressure chamber walls in there. Okay, so we have our aerial interface now. So I'm just going to go ahead and clear that out. So let's take a look at this thing. We'll just drop it down here and look at its interface. Okay, so just like usual, we've got a pressure. So we can put this on our high pressure side on the pneumatic craft stuff. Okay, information. By using an advanced technology which compresses items so much they become as small as atoms, this machine can use a player's inventory as its own. This means you can hopper items in and out of this machine and they will be added or removed from the inventory of the player who placed the block. Smarter insertion methods, like the mod translocators, can be used to keep the player's inventory supplied with 64 torches, for example. So it's going to take a little bit of experimentation to figure out what we need to do with this, but we'll get it figured out. So on our upgrades, we can do volume and security, so we don't really need that. Nothing else here really looks interesting except this. Nathan Wastrel cannot be found on the server. What? I'm right here. Okay, that's odd. I suppose part of it could be the fact that there's no air supplied to it. But anyway, so we are going to come down here and set this in on our high pressure side. And I suppose that's our pressure regulator, but I'm going to put it right here. I think it should pull air off of that tube. Yep. So now we're getting some pressure. Let's see if it still says this after it gets its pressure together. Now that is a big problem. Okay. Well, that is very strange. I was not thinking I was gonna be having that problem. But our pressure is good. We're 19.6 bar. All the pumps have turned off again. And I guess I don't know if I mentioned this. I put volume upgrades into these compressors, so they hold a lot more compressed air now. I don't know if maybe I have to have like the pneumatic helmet on. I don't know. I guess I could try that. Still got 10 bar pressure in the pneumatic helmet. Go ahead and put that on and take a look here. Okay, what about now? Nope. Well, that's odd. I may have to do a little checking online, see if I can figure out why this thing is saying that I can't be found. Alright, well, I'll check on that and I'll be right back. Well, guys, I have no idea what the problem is here. It still says I cannot be found on the server, but this thing is interacting with my inventory. So I have here set up just a couple of very simple buses from Applied Energistics. I have a precision import bus set to take empty camel packs, and then I have a precision export bus set to give me back full camel packs, and it's set to activate once per pulse. And then here I have a level emitter that basically will emit a redstone signal anytime there are any empty camel packs in the ME system. And since it takes a bit for the empty camel pack to be exported to the water system up above here, that works just long enough to send me a new camel pack. So now what I want to do is just test this out. So right now my camel pack isn't very empty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over by the reactor where it's really hot. And actually, before I go over there, I think I'm going to come over here and grab some yellorium to take with me. So let's see. Now we got a fair amount of the yellorium ingots yet. So I need to smelt this yellorium dust that I'm getting back into ingots and get that going. But so I'm going to sit over here by the reactor for a little bit where it's a bit warmer, and it's going to cause me to be using water a little faster. And yeah, I will keep an eye on this, see what happens when my camel pack gets empty. Hopefully I will end up having a full camel pack put into my inventory. So I'll see you guys in just a bit. Well, we're getting down to the last little bit on our camel pack here. So hopefully the system will pull this empty camel pack out, but I have a feeling it's just going to dump the new one into my inventory, not put it into this slot. So I don't know if there's any way to change that. It'd be great if I could get it to dump it right back into this spot. But I guess if we can at least get a full camel pack all the time, that's good too. So there we go, empty camel pack. And it's not pulling it out. Interesting. So may have to go and take a look at this then. So we still don't have the camel pack removed. Problems once again that I am not on the server. I don't understand how that works. So let me see if I move this over here. Okay, well that works. So apparently I have to remove the empty camel pack from my inventory and place it, or from my chest plate location, and set it in my inventory, and then this thing will pull it out. Okay, that's not quite as good as I was hoping, but at least I know now that if I take this camel pack and put it over here, when it's empty, I will automatically get a new one right back. Or a full one right back. So that's great. So, you know, this area is chunk loaded. I don't know if you've ever noticed this. I've got a chunk loader here in the center that keeps this entire dome loaded. So no matter where I am on the map, this will be active for me. So I guess I'm gonna have to do a little thinking here on what I'm going to do for the rest of the episode, and I will be back after I figure that out. So to finish out the episode today, I think that I'm going to take a look in the quest book, and we're going to try to get a few quests finished up. So first off, in the Under Pressure quest, quest line, we have one quest available for completion, and that is the upgraded. And all that we need to finish this out is do the security upgrade. So if we go ahead and grab in here, we're going to take a look at that security upgrade. And it's a pretty simple upgrade. Is that the... Yeah, that's the one that we need. So we need a safety valve, some obsidian, and some lapis. So I think we actually might have everything that we need there. Nope, we need the safety valve. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'd say I was pretty sure that I had that one as a recipe. So that should craft up for us. And there we go. So we've got our security upgrade. That should finish this quest. And, you know, I think we're going to go with the item search upgrade so that we can put that on our helmet. So we're going to go ahead and claim this reward. And now I guess that will complete everything there. So we've got all quests completed in Under Pressure. Salvage operation we can't do anything in because we're not quite ready to go on to our turbine for our big reactor. But in the Technological Revolution, we've got some quests in here, and we are going to be taking a look at thermal melting. So now let's put what you've learned to the test. So we need some destabilized redstone, and this, I think it's 1 bucket of each. So we need the redstone, glowstone, coal, pyrotheum, and cryotheum. So I kind of got everything ready here. The only thing that I'm missing is this coal, the liquefacted coal. So we have to run 10 pulverized coal through a magma crucible, and that will give us our what we need. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch this around, so this should output back up into the tank, I think. Maybe not. Okay, well, we'll just change this back and we'll fill a bucket. That's no big deal. So we get our 1 bucket of liquefacted coal, and then we have here 1 bucket of blazing pyrotheum and 1 bucket of gelid cryotheum, and then the other 2 are right here. So what we need to do here, we need to select this task, and we are going to put that onto the quest delivery system. And now we should be able to take and place this in here, and that should give us now the first one completed. Yep. So we're going to take, wrong thing, and this is working quite nicely. This is really nifty to be able to just take my camel pack off and get a new one. Sometimes it takes a little while, which kind of stinks, but it works. So now we'll go ahead and grab this pyrotheum, put that in there. Cryotheum. We don't need mob essence. We need the glowstone. And then we need the redstone. So that should take care of everything. And then we have a consume task. So this, we need a fluxed electrum and an enderium. So we should have both of those in our system. Okay, we do not have a fluxed electrum ingot. We do have the enderium ingot. So I don't think we have our furnace set up. Yeah, or induction smelter set up. So actually, I don't think we're quite ready to do that one yet, but we've got a portion of it done. So now the next thing that we're going to look at is creating life. So in here we have this, so we need... okay, well, let's read this. You may have noticed a complete lack of native life on this planet, outside of the hostile monsters. Luckily, I have a solution. If provided some mob essence and the correct ingredients, I can create the animals you want. These quests are repeatable. Chicken or the egg. So, the lowly chicken is where this all starts. Note, these quests are QDS only. Manual submit will not work. So we need 1 egg and 10 buckets of mob essence. So, let's go ahead and grab an egg. We have almost 3,000 eggs. That is ridiculous. And I guess we need to select this task, put it on here. We need a hopper. So we'll grab this real quick. And we'll just get that out of the way. So we'll place a hopper here onto that. We throw in our egg. And then I have 10 buckets of mob essence in this tank right here. So we're going to go ahead and place this on top of here. That should all drain out. And it should complete the quest for us. So that will give us a spawn chicken egg, which no big deal because we've got tons of regular eggs and we can get chickens from that. But now this unlocks all of the other quests in here. So we have the cow, sheep, pig, horse, ocelot, wolf, and villager. So yeah, we'll probably take a look at some of these in the next episode, and we may have to build a place for them. But I think that's going to be it for today. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye.